married Aisha at the age of 6 and consummated the marriage when she reached 9 as proof that minors can be married. Please comment. Well, there is no hadith that says that minors can't be married. Thing is, the ayah in Surah An-Nisa, it says وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ no فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُمْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. Marry what you like from women. Now, if the girl below the age of adultery is not a woman,
adulthood.
Huh?
You said adultery.
Sorry, adulthood. Yeah. Below the age of adulthood.
Yeah.
I hope that I have never said this before somewhere, because I don't know if this is the word that I use normally. Yeah. So before the age of adulthood, then. Yeah. Before she is not an adult. Then, if the word woman doesn't cover this, then the hadith of Aysha will be special to the Prophet, not special for the Prophet. He married her when this ayah was not revealed, and then by the time, so the marriage was right, so it will continue to be right until, of course, then the ayah will come, and Aisha is already an adult, so there is nothing to correct about it or to do anything about it, so it's fine. Yes, but if the ayah doesn't, if the word woman doesn't mean girls, it means only women, just like rijal, for example. We can't say about boys that they are rijal. If the word woman doesn't cover girls, then definitely it is forbidden it will be forbidden to marry a girl before she is at the age of but there is the ayah in the Surah Al-Talaq that shows that a girl can be married before the age of, and that a woman is called even before she reaches the age of the adulthood, is called woman, because Allah SWT says وَاللَّائِي يَئِسْنَ مِنَ الْمَحِيضِ مِنْ نِسَائِكُمْ, those who are their periods has stopped. She's old woman when she is 50 or something, then those who their periods has stopped amongst your women, then their divorce period is 3 months. And those who has not reached the age of having period, so a woman before she reaches the age of becoming an adult, she can be divorced. She can't be divorced except if she can be married, and her iddah is 3 months. So if before she is adult can be married, so what is the limit? There is no limit. So she can be married from whenever she is born. No, from when she is born. This is what the majority says. They say because now from when she is born, she doesn't have to give her consent, or she doesn't have to be asked, because asking her is, you understand? Some other people might say no, the Prophet said that a woman should be asked. In this case, that this woman who is it will be like this. What about the woman who is either not fit, insane, mentally not able to say she agree or not. Because insane person, you can't get her consent. I mean, she might say yes now and then later no, or a girl who doesn't understand because even a girl is not an adult, she can still say I like this or I don't like this. She can understand. But when you talk to a girl who is not able to do that, not either, she will be silent all the time, because she is silent, you understand? Then it will be useless. So they can say the limit is when the woman is able to understand, but nobody says this. I mean, what we know from the 5 Madhahib, that girl can be married in her first day when she is born. You understand? So this is regarding this hadith. But Ibn Hazm make a condition for this. He say that we don't have to ask her for her permission. But then he says this normally shouldn't have been okay. So he doesn't use like a general ayah or general hadith to say this is possible. He uses the hadith of Aysha, and this is something that happened once with the Prophet. We don't know it happened very early before the all ayah of marriage were revealed, and this is an action of the Prophet. You understand? You can't take it as a general rule, but he take it that way. And then he say, because this is like not something that is it contradicts, according to him, the general ruling of marriage, then he say that what should happen is only the father can do it. If the girl has no father, because she can't give her consent here, and other people can't do it on her behalf, every person has to do like his own things. The woman, even though she is not going to conduct the marriage, she has to give her permission. And he said this right here, that is her right to give her consent, is not valid anymore. So we are going to marry her whether she like or not, because below the age we can't ask her. In this case we can do it only if she has a father, because Aisha had father and it was her father who married her to the Prophet. But if the father is dead and the guardian is grandfather or uncle or brother or son, then it's not okay, it won't happen. This is very weak. Either you accept that she can be married by anybody who is looking after her, because it's okay under the general rules, or if under the general rules it doesn't come like this, it's not acceptable, then she can't be married at all, not even by her father. The Quran says, and if you fear that you will not deal fairly by the orphans, marry of the woman who seem good to you. Does yatim here mean non-baligh or baligh? If the baligh was yatim, then everybody in the world is yatim. The Queen of England is yatim, is an orphan. She doesn't have a father and mother. They died. You understand? Yatim is someone who is not baligh, who is not, didn't reach the age of bulugh. You have to put a limit. If you don't, then can you go to someone 90-year-old and give him charity and because he's an orphan? Because Allah, we have to give the orphans not zakat but war booty money, for example. Part of it should go to the orphans. Who are these orphans? Everybody loses his father and mother, but the orphans are those who has not reached the age of adulthood. Can you put opinion of the marriage contract?
Options.
Can you put options in the marriage contract? The majority say you can put options, conditions you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. The majority say you can put conditions to the marriage. This is the four madhahib. They don't say what is the limit, but some conditions they say they invalidate the marriage altogether.
For example, yeah.
For example, if you say to a woman, I am going to marry you for a week. This is a condition. You say to the woman, I am going to marry you. That's fine. Marry you for this amount of mahar, this amount of money. Of course, you will be talking to the guardian, the wali. So I am going to marry this woman for this amount of money. And the man says, fine. This is fine. The marriage is valid. But he says, it should be for 1 week. And then everybody will say this marriage is invalid. Not even like, oh, it's fine, but the condition is invalid. You see, they will say this marriage is invalid altogether. So,
because the condition is not.
Yes. And then someone says to someone, I am going to marry your daughter, or I am going to marry your sister with such amount of money. No, I am going to marry your sister. If he says I am going to marry your sister and he doesn't mention a mahar, or I am marrying your sister, not I am marrying your sister, and then the man says, okay, even if they don't mention the mahar, how much? The majority will say marriage is fine. We just now have to give her mahar for the woman. But if he says I am marrying your sister and give you my sister, like in exchange, they will say this marriage is invalid. Because the four madhahib, actually, 5 madhahib. Four madhahib including Ibn Hazm. But Ibn Hazm didn't contradict himself. So they say this is a condition that is not in the book of Allah, so the marriage altogether is invalid. But if they say, if the man says, I am going to marry this woman, and the father or the brother say, yeah, you can marry this woman, my daughter or my sister, with the condition that you never get married again, then they will say this marriage is fine. And this condition is valid.
Is it valid?
No, they say it is valid.
Okay.
And he must respect this condition. If he says, I am going to marry this woman and work for her forever as a slave, they will say this marriage is valid, but the condition is invalid. You understand? So sometimes the marriage is nullified altogether, is invalid. Sometimes the marriage is valid and the condition is valid, even though it's not in the book of Allah. It's not something. Sometimes the marriage is invalid, is valid, but the condition is invalid. You understand? So how do you distinguish between how? When you like it, you make it invalid. When you like it, you understand? Some people might say because the Prophet has specifically spoken about the marriage, the limited marriage, that a time limited marriage, or about shigar, when you say I give you my sister and you don't. Yeah, but the Prophet, where he got it from? People asked about some stuff, conditions that are not in the book of Allah, and he said that the marriage is, he forbade them that. Whether the marriage is invalid altogether or the marriage is valid and the condition is invalid, that is a different story. The main hadith here is the hadith of Aysha about the slave girl. Aysha had this slave girl and she freed her. No, she wanted to buy her and free her. The masters of the woman said, we will sell her to you, you will free her with the condition that she will be our Mawla. Now this condition here is not in the book of Allah. In the book of Allah, whoever frees someone will be the Mawla. If Aysha is going to free, then she will be the Mawla, not the other people. When Aysha asked the advice of the Prophet regarding this matter, he said, don't worry. Like, give them what they like. Like, do what they want. Yeah, give them, agree with them in principle that you will buy her, free her, they will be the guardians. Because they will not be anyway. Because this is a condition that contradicts the book of Allah. And then later the Prophet went and made a speech to people. He said, what's wrong with these people who make conditions that are not in the book of Allah? Whoever make a condition that is not in the book of Allah, then it's invalid. This is this hadith here. Now, of course, the majority give different answer to here. They say the condition is valid. The majority for some conditions, not all of them. Like condition that he doesn't get married again, or the condition that he marry a woman and he lives with her in next to his family, to her family, doesn't take her somewhere else. They say these conditions are valid. Their answer for this hadith, they bring another hadith, which is in Bukhari. أحق ما استحللتم به أحق ما وفيتم به من الشروط ما استحللتم به الفروج. The most worthy contract to be kept are those contracts that you made like woman halal for you. So, no, the most worthy conditions to be kept, to be respected. So they say this is conditions. Yeah, but this hadith says conditions, yes, but doesn't say any condition, definitely. It says the conditions that are conditions of Allah, not the conditions, because this hadith with the other hadith, it shows that the conditions that are in the book of Allah. For example, if a man was not praying and the woman said, I will marry you with the condition that we will keep, you will pray. Or a man married a woman with a condition that he give her half of the earth as a mahr. That is a condition that he must keep, because it's not haram to be the owner of half of the earth, as long as you leave the other half to other people to live. Or even if you can't take it all, it's fine. You rent for the other people, I mean. So if as long as you don't, as long as you have made a valid condition, then you have to respect it, but not a invalid condition. And the Prophet said, any condition that is not in the book of Allah, it's invalid. So this is Ibn Hazm. Here the other the thing here, then some people will say you have to respect this condition. Some say the condition is invalid, but the marriage is fine. And they say, look, Aysha, the Prophet told Aysha to buy the slave, and he told her to free her. The wala will be to her anyway. So he didn't tell her don't buy her, because it will be, if you buy her with a condition that it will be a waste of time. Like, buy her with this condition, and she is not her, because she bought her with so she have given money and she will have to pay it back later, try to get her money and give you understand? So they say the condition is invalid, but the agreement, contract is right. And they use this. Ibn Hazm say no. Ibn Hazm say the whole contract is invalid. And his answer to this is this. He say the Prophet told Aysha to do that. when he told her that, there was nothing to say that any condition that is not in the book of Allah is invalid. You understand? He said it's only after he spoke to Aisha that he went
And did that
and said,
oh yeah,
and he said the condition is invalid if a contract is based on a condition which is invalid. Then the whole contract, like you are saying, this contract you are talking to people, saying them, this will be okay. I am going to marry only with this condition. I am marrying this woman only with this condition. That's mean, without this condition, I am not marrying this woman. So I am not married. Since the condition is not there, so I am not married. So this is his argument, which is strong argument. But why the Prophet, before saying to the people, even though he didn't say to Aisha this until he went to the mosque and said it to the people, why he would tell Aisha, don't worry, buy her, the condition is invalid anyway. So he knew before that the condition will be invalid. Where did he know that from? From this hadith. So he still ordered her to go and marry and get buy the slave girl. You understand? So dismissing what Ibn Hazm said is not like to dismiss it completely. Then it looks at, but the other opinion that the contract is valid, the condition is invalid, is more stronger to me right now. Okay, what do you want to say? Anything? You were going to ask something.
Contracts.
Yeah.
If you do any contract,
yeah,
with people, always has to refer back to Quran and Sunnah.
Definitely.
Muslims and non-Muslims.
Yes, if you do contract with Muslim or non-Muslim, you just have to refer Quran and Sunnah, because in Quran and Sunnah there are some contracts that you can't do with the Muslims. There are some things that you can't do with no-Muslims. You understand? There are things that you can do with no-Muslims, and there are things that you can do with Muslims. You can't protect Muslims with the condition that they pay jizya, for example. That is invalid for the Muslims. And there are some contracts that you can do with Muslims, but you can't do with the Kafirs. You can't go and do a contract of marriage with a non-believer, mushrika. So, and the Islam says clearly what contract you can do with both. If anything that you don't find in the Quran and Sunnah, that contract will be invalid altogether. There is a hadith that says, any woman who marries without the consent of a guardian, her marriage is void, and if the wedding takes place, she is entitled to dower according to her status, and if they should disagree, then the sultan is the guardian of whoever is without a guardian. This is the hadith that we were talking about yesterday. This hadith, there is a different opinion about it, with the majority considering this hadith to be sahih. The Ahnaf disagree for the illah that I mentioned yesterday, and therefore the Ahnaf say, use the other hadith that says a woman who is not a virgin has more right over herself, and they say she can get married without the consent of her guardian. There is no need for consent of the guardian. She can just marry herself. That is the Ahnaf, Abu Hanifa and his followers. The others don't agree.
You're saying the criticism of that hadith is not sahih.
Well, I told you yesterday what they say about the hadith. If you remember the hadith. Do you remember the hadith?
I remember the hadith,
okay,
yeah.
So that is the hadith that people have criticized that hadith. I told you why people don't agree with them.
There's problems. There's a lot of problems
in the hadith. Actually, there was many problems, but the hadith as it looks fine.
Yeah.
And then there is illah. We find there is illah in it, and then there was this answer for this illah. Now, because we found out that the person who said there is illah with hadith was Ismail ibn Ulayya. He is the one who reported this illas, that there is problem, that Zuhri said I never heard the hadith, and then Sulaiman bin Musa himself later said I forgot. So it is a possibility that here you can say even that Ibn Jurayj maybe has made up all the story in his mind, not that he is untrustworthy. If he narrates hadith from two people and these two people later say we have forgotten, and he accused them of, he says that he told me the hadith and he has forgotten, and the other person who narrates from him, I met him and he said I never told him. Maybe he heard this hadith and in his mind he made it up this way, and then when he asked them they said we never told you, and the other person said I never told this person that who told you. You understand? It is also, this is there will be another illah here, a possibility of illah. But the thing is, whoever narrated this illah from Ibn Jurayj, it was one person, Ismail ibn Ulayya, and he said that he relies on his narration from Ibn Jurayj on Abdul Majid ibn Abdul Aziz Abdul Majid ibn Abdul Aziz ibn Abi Rawad, who is weak. So if this person is weak, untrustworthy, then relying,
this criticism is
yeah,
weak as well.
Everything is weak. So this might maybe make the hadith sahih, maybe. You understand? However, this hadith you won't find it in such book like Bukhari or Muslim because of all of this. Bukhari sometimes will bring some hadith that are like this, but he disagree with the people's opinion who criticize, like he thinks strongly that they are wrong. But if they need like they have point or something, then he will not bring such hadith in his book. If there is no sultan, who can be the guardian? Well, when there is no sultan, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. The believers are guardians of each other.
Anyone could be a guardian.
Yes, where there is no, when a woman has no family, universe, yeah, then we are not going to say, she can never get married in her life. Some say that the verse that says, then there is no sin for you at all that they may do with themselves with decency, and the hadith that says the deflowered woman has greater right than her guardian are proof that women can enter into marriage contracts by themselves. This hadith, there is this ayah and this hadith are, this ayah is sahih, this hadith is sahih, but this ayah is, you have to put it with and this hadith, you have to put them with the other hadith that says that woman, the deflowered woman, must be asked. If she is going to be asked, that's mean by the person who is going to conduct the marriage. And if you believe the hadith of Sulaiman bin Musa is sahih, then you have to apply it as well with this hadith. It will not be contradicting, because you never find everything in one ayah. You have to put all the ayahs in the hadith together. The ayah say, أَنْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, marry who do you like from women. It doesn't say that you have to ask for their permission. Even that they will like it or they don't like it, doesn't say anything. Just go take a woman and say, I'm marrying you, and take her. You understand? Doesn't say anything about her choice, doesn't say anything about the guardian. So you take this ayah alone and then you are not married. You take this hadith alone and you are not married, because you have to take this hadith with the other hadith and put them together, come to the solution. Because you will never find any you will find sometime an ayah that probably describe every details. It's very rare.
Inheritance.
Not really. The inheritance, if you take it, there is a main thing, very important thing in the hadith, in the inheritance, that wherever you apply the inheritance, you have to go back to this hadith. If you go to the inheritance and read the whole chapter there about the inheritance, it will still have, there is a problem.
You want to understand this?
Who is, most of the time, you see, okay, man dies. The Quran says that if someone dies and has more than 2 girls, 3 or more, I mean no son, then they will have 2/3 of the property. His parents will have the 1/6, each of them. 1/6 of each of them. No, okay. 2/3 and the 1/6 each of them, that's mean 1/3. Now someone dies and he has only 3 girls, yeah? How much they will take? 2/3. Who is going to take the 1/3? He has no parents, he has no wife. Who will take the other 1/3?
Grandfather maybe?
There is no grandfather, there is nothing. He has nobody. He has 3 girls.
3 girls, that's it?
Yeah.
All his parents still dead?
Yes. The nearest person, the closest person to him from his father's side, meaning if he has no son, it can be uncle, paternal uncle, his children. You understand?
Paternal auntie?
No. Uncle.
Okay.
It has to be a man. Because the hadith of Ibn Abbas which says that give the fara'id to everybody. Fara'id is what Allah has described in Quran. 3rd, 4th, 4th, quarter, 6th. If there isn't whatever is left, then a male from Wali, male, that is from his father's side. And it has to be a male as well, not a woman.
Okay.
Where there isn't, then it will have to go to Baytul Mal, because all Muslims are family anyway, or humanity are family.
Yeah.
They all come back to. So since the Kafirs can inherit him, then it has to go to the Baytul Mal and divide it between the Muslims. But
why is it necessary to be a man?
Because this is what the hadith says.
Oh, okay,
It has to go to the. It has to be divided between the woman. Between the man and woman who are closest to him, like his daughters, his wife. But whatever is left, which is not mentioned, like if the people who are mentioned have taken their rights, and something is left, then it has to go to the closest relative. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if there is a father and mother, then they will have 6 each. And let's say he has 1 daughter, she will have half. Half of 12 is 6. The 6th of 12 is 2. So the daughter will take 6. The mother will take 2, that is 8. The father will take 2, that is 10. The remaining will go to father, because the father is the closest male here. You understand? So with the ayah we don't know where the 2 will go until we refer to hadith of Ibn Abbas. Yes, what are the conditions of being a guardian? Slave, fasiq, prodigal, safih. This being a slave, being a fasiq, will not take away the right of the father or the wali. Being a fasiq will not take his right. Being safih, if by saying safih being crazy, then it will take his right. If safih means someone who doesn't know how to deal with his affairs, he is stupid, then stupidity differs from one person to another. There is no one who is perfect. Everybody has kind of stupidity. This differs from one person to another. As long as he doesn't reach the where he is called like insane, meaning he doesn't have to pray anymore, then this person, he still have his own rights to conduct his own affairs, his money, to deal with his money. So, because those who say the opposite, the majority, say Safih can't do these things. And then you tell them, okay, the limit, they say if he doesn't, like if someone, the majority say if someone doesn't know how, is stupid, a man who has he's old, not orphan anymore, and he doesn't know how to conduct his affairs. Maybe he has a lot of money. No, he doesn't have. He will take half of his property, for example, and buy with it things. Like someone has 1 million and he goes with 800,000 buy swimming pool. His family will come and say this person is stupid. Like he spent all this money on this. He's going to finish his property and he's the majority said we have to take his money away from him and put a guardian to look after him and give him money. But if he takes this 800,000 pound from 1 million and buy alcohol with it because he's drunk, but he is intelligent, he is not, just fasiq. So he buys alcohol because he likes alcohol. That's fine. We will, of course, we will punish him for buying alcohol, but we don't take his money from him, even though we know he's going to get out and he will buy more alcohol and stuff. You understand? So this is the opinion. The Zahiris don't disagree. Say Safih is only the crazy person who doesn't know. This is the person that we have to take money from. Any other person, and same thing with there is no proof that a person, if a person, only a person will have to lose guardianship of his daughter if, for example, people want to marry her and he refuses for no clear evidence. When someone is Muslim and he just doesn't want nobody is okay for him, he keep rejecting people, doesn't give any reason. He, for example, says that I don't like this person because he is religious. I want someone who is not religious.
There's a lot of people who do that.
No, they do that. They do.
That's what I'm saying, they do that.
Yeah. So if this person will lose his.
Someone from your part of the world is like that.
So in this case, he will lose his. The wali will be her nearest relatives. She can just her nearest relative. Like if the father is like this, her brother can take over. If he is better than his father. If not, it will go this way to the nearest relative. If nobody is interested or they are all the same fasiq, then she goes to the leader. The leader will deal the Khalifa or his representative. Where there isn't, then any Muslim can do it.
Can a woman be a
Wali?
Yeah.
This is the issue.
Or a child?
This is no child, definitely. Forget about the hadith of Salama when her son married her to the Prophet. The hadith is weak. Child can't be a wali. Definitely, child can't do anything that is an obligation. But a woman, all the hadith that mentions guardian, you can't understand why they rule out other women. I mean, yes, a woman can't marry herself, but why they rule out other women to be a guardian? They never give you an answer, clear answer. It's just like they found it this way, and then when you read the saying of anybody, you will understand that he is saying what they have said, but he himself doesn't understand why. You see, when someone doesn't understand, and like Ibn Hazm say, yeah, and we know that the woman, they can't. This is what the proof of Ibn Hazm. He say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ. Marry the woman, the ayama. أَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ. So marry the ayama amongst you, and those pious amongst your slaves. I mean, give them woman into marriage. He said, we know that only this ayah, the first part of it, speaks to men. You understand? He says, like, when we say, وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكَاتِ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنُوا. Don't marry the mushrikat until they believe. And then the ayah says before that, no, the first ayah says don't marry the mushrikat until they believe, and don't give your woman for marriage. You say this ayah is talking to, because who shouldn't marry the mushrikat? It's the man, because the men are the one who marries the woman. So the ayah is talking to man. You say then it should be talking to the man as well. You understand?
Yeah.
When an ayah speaks and talk to some people, an ayah can talk to everybody.
Yeah. But in the Arabic language, it refers to the
man and woman. When you talk to man, is different when you talk to woman.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk to man and woman, when they are together, when you are talking to man and woman, you always use the masculine thing.
This is how it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say to woman, when there is Muslims, man and woman, or when there is man and woman, when you talk to them, you don't say like sallu, sallina, and you just say sallu all together, for the man and woman. You use always the masculine side. This is how it's in Arabic. Other than that, if someone says no, then yeah, the whole Quran speaks for the man. It's very few, only the ayah that speaks to the woman of the Prophet. That is speaking, the whole Quran speaks to men, to pray, to do zakat, you understand? But there is a different opinion here. There is an opinion that says that the Quran speaks to man, and every ayah in Quran is to man, except where women, like prayer, and they say the women have to do like what they have, the obligation of women are very limited, and this is addressed in Quran like إن المؤمنين والمؤمنات والصادقين والصادقات والصالحين والصالحات and stuff. Say this is what the obligation on women, where Allah mentioned them like in details, man and woman. But where it's not like this, they say like jihad, every ayah about jihad, every ayah about you say where women are included, it's not mentioned in that way. Yeah, some opinion of some scholars, not usuliyin, not from the Madhahib. This is something that is mentioned in usul, and this Fakhr al-Razi have reported this, and Isra'ini. This is not a matter of fiqh, this is a matter of usul. Whether the Quran speaks to man or woman or... I have spoken about this before in details. I'm just saying it generally now, but before I spoke about this in details. In Usul, when we were doing Usul Fiqh.
No.
Yeah, in the north, yes. I went through it maybe 2 hours talking about this with the proofs why, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for example, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ, those who are for their chastity protective, إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ, except for their azwaj, which means woman. Or I gave many answers.
In the other ayah, Nur, when say a man accuses his wife of adultery, let's swear 4 times.
Yeah.
What if it's the other way? The wife accuses the man.
Yeah. She doesn't have that right.
She can't accuse him.
Yes.
But okay.
She can't accuse him. If she accuses him of adultery, then she will either produce 4 witnesses, or she will be lashed.
What about swearing 3 times?
No, she can't. She can't do that. This is only the right of the husband with the wife.
But isn't this like the same thing as now we were just talking about?
Yeah, but the ayah, it doesn't talk that way. The ayah doesn't say, if you people accuse your azwaj, because the word azwaj
is just for men.
No, the word azwaj can be man and woman in Arabic. It's not like in English it will be your husbands or your wives. But the ayah didn't say, oh people, if any of you accuse a partner of adultery, then they should do this and this and this. It will be fine. It will be for man and woman. The ayah, it says like this: those who amongst you accuse their partners, and there is no witnesses, then the testimony of one of them is 4. That he is the testimony of one of his or her are 4 testimony that he is from the liars, that he is from the truthful, that he is saying the truth. The 5th is the curse on Allah, of Allah on him if he is from the liars. The punishment should be waived from her. Look, this will make the first statement only him, because the punishment will be waived from her. It's not like the punishment will be waived from him. So there is no punishment. It's only, he's talking about woman here. You see, first ayah you might say, okay, when he talks about man, that includes man and woman. But the second ayah here clearly states that the punishment will be waived from her, from the woman. So there is no punishment on man on this case. If the woman come and accuse the man, it doesn't apply. Do you understand it? You understand it or? Look, okay, let me say it in Arabic. وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُمْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ شُهَدَاءُ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ, those who accuse their wives and they have no witnesses except themselves. The testimony of one of them is 4. He must testify 4 times by Allah that he is from the truthful, that he is saying the truth. The 5th testimony, that he should say the curse of Allah on him if he is from the liars. The punishment will be waived from her, from the woman. You understand? He didn't say the punishment will be waived from him. You see, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to man and woman, He refers by like him.
Yeah.
If it refers like all you people, that's mean man and woman. But when He say it's her, that will be for woman only. So there is nothing to prove that there is a punishment. So a man accusing his wife, there is a punishment on her.
Yeah.
Unless if he testify, there is a punishment on her. He just testified 4 times, 5th time, she will be punished. If she doesn't testify the same way,
Yeah. 4 times.
4 times, to say that he is a liar. If she say no, I am not going to do it. He is a liar, but I am not going to swear 5 times. Then she will be punished. Because of this ayah. This ayah waives the punishment from her. But there is no ayah that says the punishment will be waived from the man.
Okay.
And you will do qiyas here if you want to. You understand? If they do it, you will have to do it by qiyas only.
That's what they do.
No, they don't do it. The fuqaha, the madhahib, don't say if a woman accuses her husband that he should be punished. They do qiyas on the ayah before that. You see the ayah that says those وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ. Muhsanat is a feminine word, like for a woman. Because if a man, we say muhsanin, not muhsanat. So وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَأْتُوا وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ لا الزانية والزاني فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما مئة جلدة ولا تأخذكم بهما رأفة في دين الله والذين يرمون المحصنات فاجلدوهم 80 جلدة. Those who accuse the muhsanat, this is specific woman, chaste woman, then lash them 80 times. Now here they do qiyas. When a man accuses his wife, they don't say if a woman accuses her husband, we will punish him. They don't say that. But when someone accuses a woman, anyone accuses a woman, they say we have to give the same punishment if someone accuses a man. If you ask what is the proof, they will say there is no proof except qiyas. You understand? Because if Allah said those who accuse muhsanin, they will say this covers man and woman, because when it's masculine it covers man. But because it's woman only, it mentions specific. You can't say this covers man and woman. You don't talk about man.
So are you saying the laws to do with slander?
Yeah.
It's through qiyas?
No, the law of slander for woman is through the ayah, this ayah.
Yeah.
But for man, the majority do it by qiyas.
So this is a
If someone
from
no, it is made if the majority, the four madhahib, say if someone come and say this man has committed adultery, he should be lashed unless he bring 4 witnesses or the man agrees. The man say yes, I did. If the man doesn't say if the man deny it and there is no 4 witnesses,
then the one who claimed it.
Then the one who claimed it should be. Now, if you
that's the hadith, yeah.
The proof.
No, the ayah says that you have to bring 4 witnesses.
And if you don't bring 4 witnesses,
then 80 lashes. The ayah says this.
Okay.
Surah An-Nur.
Alright.
If you remember, there is a very well-known hadith, the hadith of Abu Bakr, when he's Mughira ibn Shu'bah.
Yeah.
Now, they accused Mughira ibn Shu'bah with a woman, but because they didn't specify, some of them specified that Jamil, a woman called Jamil, but the others didn't specify the woman. I mean, they accused the Mughira, not a woman. And if you say a woman committed adultery, there is nothing wrong. You can't be, because you didn't specify. A woman always committed. There is always a woman who committed adultery. But so there is no had here. So if you say this man has committed adultery, then and you specified the man, then everybody agree that the person should be punished. We don't know of anyone who says he shouldn't be punished, whether Zahiri or not Zahiri. But the majority, they take it through qiyas. They say this is qiyas. Allah has spoken about women, but we do it for the man as well. The Zahiris say no.
They don't really need to do qiyas, do they?
Why?
They've got it already
From the ayah of Azan.
from if you accuse a man of adultery, bring 4 witnesses or you'll be lashed.
No, there is no ayah that says if you accuse a man for adultery. The ayah says if you accuse muhsanat.
Okay.
So if the man...
Hang on, sorry bro. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is you're saying that there's nothing hadith or Quran that says if imagine I accused you of adultery and I couldn't bring a witness, I don't have to be lashed.
You will have to be, but for a different understanding of the ayah. You see the ayah that says وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ. Now what is muhsanat?
Women.
Muhsanat in the Arabic language is the protected.
Freed.
Protected, freed, or the muhsana is someone like we say chastity, but anything that is why women are chaste, muhsanat. They protect themselves from the adulterer.
The good woman.
She is not muhsana. Because she doesn't protect herself from doing that. So anything that is protected is muhsana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does he say about Maryam? ومريم ابنة عمران التي يريد سورة الطلاق ومريم ابنة عمران التي أحصنت فرجها. She protected her like private part. So it's not only women who are protected. The man protect and woman protect their muhsanat means أحصنت فرجها. She protected her private parts. She didn't commit adultery. So muhsanat can be woman, refer to woman, and we say al-furuj al-muhsana. So Ibn Hazm here says muhsanat here doesn't mean woman, means woman, means private parts of woman and man. It's called muhsana because you refer as to the private parts as female when you put it as in the phrase. You understand? So he said here, who said that Allah didn't say the woman muhsana, he said muhsanat. So anything that is muhsanat and a man comes and can be referred to as muhsana, and the Quran refers to Maryam as being, so he said this is, we don't do qiyas, but a man as well falls into category of muhsanat.
So it's the right opinion.
But this is the right opinion. This is the opinion of Ibn Hazm. People have tried to tell him, oh, this is wrong, because if you say muhsanat is what do you say about the ayah in the same surah that says إن الذين يرمون المحصنات المؤمنات, those who slander the muhsanat mu'minat. Say this is definitely talking about human being, not because we don't describe private parts of being a believer. If the one ayah describe something, doesn't mean that every ayah should refer. They say, for example, word nikah sometimes might mean something, as long as there is no proof, we have to take all the meanings. Where there is proof, like here that muhsanat mu'minat, then we say there is here definitely can't be except woman. But doesn't mean that you will find it always the same way. Like word nikah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says حتى تنكح زوجا غيره. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, for example, about nikah, sometimes it's clearly marriage in Quran. You can't use it as did I mention in ayah that clearly states that it is marriage? Can you remember any ayah in Quran where nikah is clearly marriage?
this one?
There is so many ayat in Quran that the majority say always about nikah in Quran,
which means put the contract,
meaning the marriage itself, but sometimes may refer to the sexual relation. Now when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says واللائي والقواعد من النساء اللاتي لا يرجون نكاح, the old women that don't wish for nikah, they are not looking for marriage.
That's marriage.
Yeah. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran about nikah, He says وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ مِنْكُمْ طَوْلًا أَنْ يَنْكِحَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ, whoever amongst you can't do nikah with the muhsanat, believer muhsanat, then he should look for slaves. What is nikah here? Definitely marriage. Because if he is referring to sexual relation, you can't do it with the free woman, you look for slave. What? You understand? So definitely it's marriage here. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says فَإِن طَلَّقَهَا فَلَا تَحِلُّ لَهُ مِن بَعْدِ, if he divorces her, meaning the third time, then she is not halal for him, she is haram for him, forbidden for him to marry her again. Man divorcing his wife 3 times.
And if she
حتى تنكح زوجا غيره, until she does nikah with another husband. What is this nikah here?
Sexual relation, consummating.
it has to be that.
It has to be that, because you don't say in the Arabic language to a man, a man saying in Arabic language, not Quran. Quran is the most eloquent book, but if a person come to people and say, "Oh people, I have married a woman,"
Obviously, of course.
people say, "You stupid, we can see that you are a man, you definitely married a woman, you just have to say I'm married." You understand? You don't add, you are a man and you say I'm married, of course you are married to a woman, what then? You understand? So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say until she marry another husband, of course she will be marrying a husband, she will not marrying a child, a son. If she marries someone, of course it's a husband. So he will not say until she marries a husband, until she marries, that's enough. But because it's not only marriage here, he said until she has consummated this marriage with a husband, not with a master, because some people always say, okay, why did he mention the husband? Of course, consummating the marriage with, but not with a master. Maybe she is a slave, the husband divorced her, she went back to her master, and he had sexual relation. That is not enough. She must marry someone, or maybe she finished her marriage and she went committed adultery. That is nikah. That is not good enough. She must have this nikah with the husband, not with.
That's a deep point there.
Okay.